Hello, you are watching the Project Arkangelos podcast. This is episode number 6. I've just finished work. It's a Monday and I am exhausted. I've been working like a dog, and the whole day I was visualizing what I'd do as soon as I got home. Kind of like Homer Simpson, where I had this little dream bubble of myself lying on a hammock or playing Call of Duty or something like this. But it's funny, once I get home and have a shower, I just feel like filming a podcast episode. It's like my creative brain wakes up and never gives me a moment to rest. It's like a child, like, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this, let's do that. It just comes to life. So I thought I'd film another podcast episode. By the way, let me know what content you'd like to hear, what topics you'd like me to discuss. I will just keep free balling. I would just keep free balling, but just let me know, or just let me know what works, what is working, what you like in the content I've already made. Because I feel like some things are resonating, and the more you let me know, the more I can hone in on the aspects that resonate. So let me know. And yeah, so working like a dog, and I just visualize. It's funny, I think about how good it will be to be dead. That's what I think about. I feel like it's the perfect solution to all of my financial issues is if I just wasn't here anymore. All of that stuff would be gone. And before you get concerned, even though you probably don't give a fuck because you got your own shit to deal with, before you get concerned, I'm going to hang in there just because I want to see what happens. I want to see what happens externally with the world, and I want to see what happens internally with my own life. What unfolds in the future, if it really does get better, or if it just kind of, or if it just kind of levels out. I'm just really curious to see what happens. But I'll tell you, the whole day I just think about not being here anymore. I don't think about dying. I just think about being dead. Because dying doesn't seem like much fun. Dying doesn't seem much fun at all. Not a good time. Dying, not a good time. But being dead, ooh, damn. Ooh, mama. Being dead, oh. I just imagine it to feel so relieving. Just like an orgasm almost. But like kind of like an inverse orgasm. Not like painful, but like just a, I guess, yeah, like a release, like a relief and a release. That's what I imagine death will be like. And then who knows what comes next? Do we just die? Do we reincarnate? Do we wake up in heaven? What comes next? I'm really curious. And all the people that have died know what comes next. That's for sure. I think about people that I know who have died, and I want to ask them some questions. I want to know what comes next. And, you know, nobody knows, but I have my own suspicions. I personally believe in the soul. I believe in a soul. I believe in the soul. And I do think, for myself at least, once I die, I feel like my soul will be like, yeah, I was here all along, watching you get anxious, watching you get depressed, and there was nothing to ever worry about. I feel like the soul is just this like spacious stillness, and we get caught up in the content of life, the ego, the nitty gritty of life, anxiety, depression, la la la, la la la, la 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 la. But I think the soul is watching it all. I think of the soul like the container of our experiences and our suffering. And sometimes you can identify with the soul. It kind of feels like a sitting back. You identify with the observer of the experience, rather than being caught up in the experience, being the doer, let's say. But then what is the container of the soul? That's when I would say God. I personally would say God. And I say that in a completely philosophical and logical sense. I feel like it's quite logical to posit God. I actually find it logically absurd, personally, to posit the opposite of God or to say there's no God. Just what I've studied in philosophy, what I've studied in mathematics, and personal experiences I've had doesn't really make sense to me personally. Not that it has to make sense to me, but for what reason and rationality and logic is worth, it doesn't add up to me. So I do believe in God, and I believe God is the container of souls. And I believe souls are the containers of our lived experience. That's what feels right to me. That's what makes sense to me. In this moment, that's what I believe. I forget all the time. I forget about this experience being temporary. I forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it. I can't do it. I forget about it. But it's good to just sit down and film a video like this and just think it through again. So I do believe in the soul. Now, whether the soul gets reincarnated, whether like the moment you die, you enter into another womb instantly, or you become a different kind of animal or a plant, I don't know, or a spirit, like an angel. I don't know. I feel like karma makes sense. And I feel like there's different levels to karma. There's like, I don't know, I'm just waffling on here, but like I feel like there's like a long-term karma and a short-term karma. But I don't know, is karma eternal or does it have a time limit, an energy limit? Anyway, that's not my area of expertise, let's say. But I do wonder about reincarnation. If when we die, we go to a kind of waiting room, like a spaceless, timeless realm. And then after a period of timelessness, of eternity, we re-enter a womb, a baby, like we return as a baby in a womb. I've heard that idea somewhere, like that's why a baby cries when it gets born, because it remembers its old life, something like that. Anyway, who knows? Maybe it just cries because it's a baby. But silly. But so I wonder about if there's a waiting room. I do also wonder about an afterlife. That feels correct to me, but what proof do I have? I have no proof. I have no scientific proof. I just have intuition. And the idea of heaven makes sense to me. But I feel like we can also live in heaven and we can also live in hell here and now. So it's one of those things. It's one of those things. But anyway, so I think about death. I think about dying when I'm working, like a dog. I think about not being here. And it gives me great relief. But I will never say never, but I won't do that so I won't kill myself because I want to see what happens. I want to see what the world does. And I just want to see if my life does change for the better, if it stays the same, or if it actually like plummets. I just want to see what happens. So I'm going to stick around. But I do think about dying. I think about being dead every day. But I'm going to stick around. But I think about it all the time. So, with that said, so over the summer, I'm looking forward to this summer period. Uh, I made some notes for when I kind of, the train of thought dies down. Maybe I can start wrapping it up and just do a kind of mini episode. But for this summer period, and it's summer in Australia. It's summer right now. So if you're in the northern hemisphere, I guess it's winter. So you just do the opposite. You just flip it around. It's December here. It's December, it's summer. I look forward to making some music. I'd be doing that right now. And this is going to sound like an excuse, but I'm having software issues, basically with a Mac, where I did a software update and now my interface isn't being registered. And I just have to sit down with it for an hour or two and just get to the bottom of it. But you know, when you try fix it and you don't fix it straight away, it's really demoralizing. So you don't touch it for another month. I'm kind of going through that. But that's what I want to tackle in the summer so I can start making music again. And just do little afternoon, evening, little song sessions, making songs that I will upload and share with the world and with you. I also look forward to filming more podcast episodes like this. Maybe fleshing it out a bit more, maybe hamming up the profile a bit more. And I also intend to do a lot of coding in the sense of learning some coding concepts that I need to learn for university coming up next semester. Just this subject. I had to drop it last semester. I want to do it this semester. It just kicked my ass. So I want to get on top of it. So I have to practice coding in the summer. And that's all I've really got. If you're a gamer, you should add me. Vasterlyric, VASTERLYRIC, Vasterlyric. You should add me. I have an Xbox One, so if you've got Xbox, or we could play one of those cross-platform games. I don't know if Call of Duty 6, I'm playing the latest one. I don't know if that's cross-platform. If it is, you should add me. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure Fortnite is cross-platform. I haven't played that in a while, but I did just install the update, intending to play it, but then I got caught up in other games. I got caught up playing Hitman. I love Hitman, but it's definitely, you either love it or you hate it. It's not a game for everybody. I love it. I love the idea of being an assassin. I love the silent assassin. The silent assassin. I love that you can plot your own way you want to go about the mission, even though I have to follow the guides. I just want to get so good at it that I can replay levels that I enjoyed and do them a bit differently each time. And I love that there's so many levels now. I just really admire that game, so I've been playing that. I've been having a go of Diablo 4. Diablo 4. I don't know. I remember playing Diablo 2. I never got fully into it, but I remember playing it. So now I'm playing Diablo 4. It's okay. It's pretty cool. It's okay. It's cool. And Call of Duty, and I'm playing Witcher 3, but I fucking suck at it. But I still want to play it to get better. So you should add me, and yeah, like I said, let me know your feedback. I did mention at the beginning of this episode that I'm tired as fuck, but I still wanted to film something. And I think we covered some good ground talking about the soul, talking about God, talking about the afterlife. They're really profound topics in themselves. So even if I just sparked your interest, there's some scientist and he says, you know, you study science, you start off an atheist, but the further you go, you discover God. It's something like that, or God is at the bottom of the glass of, I don't know, something like that. And it just makes sense to me. It makes more sense to me than atheism. And I was raised non-secular or secular. I was raised just a-religious, with no religion. But it's in my later years, in my adult years, that I contemplate the nature of God. Contemplate the nature of God. Is God being like eternal, omniscient, omnipresent, omni something else? God being formless? God being eternal, so outside of time, outside of space, outside of time. It just makes sense to me. You know what doesn't make sense to me? The Big Bang. Like, the Big Bang happening makes sense, but the idea that it came out of nothing, and physicists being like, yeah, so it just came out of nothing. Of course that's possible and plausible. It's like, I don't think it is. I think you better dial back the cockiness there, Mr. Physicist. And I think you should explain it in a way that us laymen can understand, because I'll tell you what, something coming from nothing for no fucking reason makes no fucking sense to me at all. Why do we have consciousness? Why aren't we just robots? Why are we aware that we are aware? We didn't have to be. We didn't have to be. I feel like there's a reason that we are. I feel like there's a reason that we have a conscience, why we feel bad, why we feel guilt, why we feel remorse, why we feel grief. It doesn't make sense to just create that. What, evolution? Yeah, but why have souls? Why have a sense of self? It doesn't make any fucking sense without God, without some kind of eternal soul, or the absence of a soul, some kind of eternal presence that gives rise to all things and all beings. That makes way more sense to me than something coming from nothing for no reason at all. Are you kidding me? So we're just conscious for no fucking reason at all. Doesn't make fucking sense to me. Sorry. Let me know your comments though. Let me know your feedback. Let me know if you disagree. Let's get a dialogue going. For now, I'm going to wrap it up. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have a wonderful evening, a great week, a great year. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. But I'm sure I'll make more episodes in the meantime. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love.